Focus, man. Yeah, what's up? What's up? This be none other but the queer Cancerian here. That's Starseed, that light child, that healer. And you're listening to Mindful Meditations, the podcast, the YouTube page. Um, I'm here today because I had some self-talk that I was doing to myself, and I wanted to get it on record because this is the type of stuff that I have, and you guys are my audience. I can vent out to you, and it's therapeutic for me. There's some things that I journal down, and then some things that I really like to just put in record so that I can hear myself back later. And I'm getting so many downloads right now, so I'm trying to calm down because my anxiety is shooting through the roof. And we're gonna tap on that a little bit today because that's what this podcast and this YouTube page is about mental health or mental wealth for self, and how much people don't really understand or even know anything about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. You hear me? So if you've been following me, I'm sorry, I gotta sidetrack. So I had a friend of mine, a very good friend. I gotta say, this is my best friend and his daughter, and they know who I'm talking about because they are avid listeners and followers of me, and they've been with me for years. Like, I love them to pieces. I love them to life. And I'm looking at my squishy and my octopus, and I have it on the mean face, which for me is kind of funny because it's cute. It's giving me the little mean face when I look at it, so it gives me that. It's funny to me. It's an inside thing for me. Anyway, I digress. So anyway, continuing forward. So yeah, I woke up this morning actually on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about myself as well, and what I need to do today, it being Sunday, preparing myself for the new moon, getting myself aligned and prepared and ready for what I want to bring into fruition, my intentions and my battles and struggles that I've been going through, why I have been going through this whole spiritual journey of mine. Goodness, there's a lot of stuff that's being tugged at me today. You don't understand right now what's going on. And then on top of that, my anxiety is off the Richter today. So I had updated my Instagram, which I don't really use Insta. I only use that because there's people that I follow on TikTok that move to Instagram, and most of the time that's where they conversate and stuff like that, because TikTok can be a little bit much sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So anywho, that's just blase Skippy. So I ended up just updating it, make sure I show my face because I had it for my pups. And I couldn't get into my original one, and I didn't want to go through all that, whatever. So I had posted something up on my Instagram, right? And it's been getting I would say a lot of negative feedback, and only because there's some people that don't understand. But for those of you that get it, those of you that don't, that's don't. And my Instagram is, let me look, because that lets you know how much I use it. I don't even know. I think it's Starseed or something like that, but it's the Queer Cancerian on Insta. So that's where you could get me, and that's where you can see me at. Anyway, so I posted something up there about the chaser and the runner, and it was basically about how a person who's always been the chaser, always been the one to. Okay, hold on a minute, I gotta calm down because I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed here. Okay, it's like my it's like that ego getting out, wanting to get mad, but I'm trying to calm my ego down, be like, be quiet, take a back seat today. Anyway, so it mainly was a dynamic of the chaser and the runner, right? And in this original TikTok now posted on Instagram, it was just mainly calling all chasers, to unite and to assemble, to let everyone know that we're no longer going to be considered the chaser anymore. We're no longer going to be considered the person that's always trying to make things right, trying to always make things equal. We're not always going to be the peacemaker. we're starting to just really be selfless. We're starting to just think about ourselves, regardless of family, regardless of friends, regardless of anything. Unless you are a four-legged creature that's been there at the darkest hour, those are the people that's going to be in the corner. And so in the Insta, I just said, just told the runner, I hope you have fun. And it's mainly just all the chasers getting their power back, finding their center, finding um, their equalness, right? To let everyone know that we're not going to be, no longer. I got, yeah, okay, cool. Dramatic effect me, please, thank you. We're not going to be in the background anymore. Like we're coming to the forefront. And I truly believe that the strongest people are those who have been, quiet. People that don't really speak up. And I mean, they don't speak up because they scared. They speak up because their words carry power. Their words carry weight. Their words carry, not even anger or hurt, but their words can make, break, or destroy, or build, strengthen, and empower people. And the majority of the time, those type of people are just laid back in the cut and just saying, you know what, I'm just gonna wait because you don't really know the force that you're dealing with. So I was looking at that, and then I was like, people who don't understand the dynamic, or who don't understand, especially what you go through, because I really feel like there has been a group of people who've conversed and tried to speak to people a lot and let them know that, hey, this is my issue, this is what I'm dealing with, and nobody cared. They just brushed it off aside. However, when it comes to something that that other people don't understand or don't know, that's when they start to get inquisitive about it, or they start asking questions. And I mean, there's a difference between, and if you've seen my page before, my YouTube, there's a difference between being nosy and inquisitive. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going any further. And if you don't know the difference, pick up a book, and Google will be your best friend. Each one teach one, right? Anywho, so there are people who, if they don't know something, the only thing they know, okay, calm down. The only way they know is to attack. Now, it's not an attack on the way that you think as in a negative way. Some people do attack when they don't understand something in a negative way, and some people attack out of fear. So what I mean by attacking out of fear is this, is that if they don't know what's going on, they're going to automatically think that you're in self-destruction mode. Now, there are people sometimes who do go in self-destruction mode. However, there certain people who has a understanding. There are certain people who has an understanding on when that person is being self-destructive, especially if the person is a borderline personality, if they're having a manic or a manic session, or if there's just some things that can say, okay, this person is off their meds, basically, let's just put it that way, versus someone who is just different than how people are used to seeing them, and they're developing and growing in such a way that people don't really recognize or care to understand, especially if you've been a certain way for so long. And people are starting to realize that, one, you're not responding as much as you used to, and two, when you do respond, it's just like, yeah, people can feel that, especially if you've been working on building and reestablishing your energy and protecting yourself, because needless to say, wherever you go, there's energy surrounding us, and we do understand as being light workers, healers, children, star seeds, however you want to put it, is that when we go out there, we're risking our lives every single day because we're intermingling with other energies, other people, other spirits, or however you want to said to make yourself feel comfortable. For the record, I just got to put out there that I do love Jesus Christ. I believe that he's the savior of my soul. I do have a good relationship with him. He and we talk. However, my relationship with him is what my relationship is. The majority of the time, if people don't see us acting the same way, like your friends are your friends. How you act with your friends is different. Everybody don't act the same. You don't act the same way around your grandmother that you act around your friends when y'all out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep that in mind. There's certain ways how you act in front of people than you would act to anyone else. And I just wish that dynamic would be out there, because there's groups of people who, if you act a certain way, they rather not question, they rather just categorize you and place you in this box and say, I'm going to set this person here and I'm going to keep them there, and I'm just going to wait until they fit that box. And once they fit that box, then I come in and I'll speak to them. You know, that's just something I had to put out there to let it be known. Back to the subject at hand. So yeah, anywho, there's just been this paradigm shift, especially with energies. I can say right now where I'm at, I'm the happiest that I've ever been, because I've gotten more answers by just searching my inner self and having my meditation time and just speaking, you know, and being honest and open with myself than I've ever been in years. And it's sad because so many years in our lives, and I'm speaking to those who understand what I'm talking about, we have been lied to. I mean, from the point when you were a child and your parents telling you who Santa Claus is, knowing good and goddamn well that they the ones wrapping the present. And then you ask them a question, and what was the reason? What was the whole reason? I don't think anybody could give you a really good answer. And the majority of the time when you do try to ask for the truth and they don't have the answer, they get upset because, oops, you know, they got outed. And normally when you get outed, you reflect back on the person, because that's just too much, you know, pressure on you, you know. I, for one, I would never, I couldn't do that. I mean, you talk about the Easter Bunny, and then now you want to grow children up in the church and you want to tell them about Jesus Christ. And it's to me, it's just so much that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you know, of course you got people who say, well, there's some things you can't be. It sounds crazy, because even before it come out of my mouth, I'm like, it's just dumb. But there's some people who say, well, I just withhold stuff from you not to hurt you. Well, don't tell me. You know what I'm saying? And if I ask you, it's your right to properly explain to me, okay? And we're not going to go into age and if they don't understand and stuff like that. Duh. Okay, we know that. However, give that person a chance. I believe that we grew up in a society where our choices were taken, and once we got to a certain age of understanding, there still was no answers. So the only way to react is out of scarcity. And normally when we do that, we don't know how to answer and we run. So we think that we're doing the best thing for a person, but in actuality, we're running from the situation, and we are attacking it, you know, by running. If you understand what I'm saying, you know, instead of just asking a person straight up, you know, what's up? What does that mean? Explain it to me. And asking to get a understanding instead of asking because in your mind you already have the answer. Because my thing is this, I'm not going to explain anything to anybody if you already have your reason. It's just dumb. I mean, why am I going to sit here and explain to you something that you already have your understanding on? It's just going to be a waste of my time and your time as well, because, yeah, it's just stupid. So normally, whenever there's a question asked, there's a comment, or there is anyone in the family in particular that asks a question, I am so happy with myself where I'm at and enjoy my peace that it doesn't even bother me anymore. And how I know that I'm at a wonderful level is I can see comments, I can hear conversations, and I can just be like, instead of me getting, if I get anxiety, it's because now it's so much that I want to get out, and I'm being careful, battling my ego to not want to just, brah, and be more responsive instead of reactive. Because you have to understand, when you are reactive, you're acting out of your ego, and ego is emotions. Ego is emotions. And if you're acting out of your emotions, then that should tap in. Ooh, goodness, it hit me. Oh goodness, every time I talk about that, I always get a download about this past energy. But right now, I just got to say, I return it back to cinder, 12 times 4 with love and light, because I ain't got time to be talking about focus on that right now. It's a strong energy that's being felt, and I guess what I can do right now, since it's being tapped in right now for my collectives, is to let that person know that, when you really sit down and you think of the thing as a whole, and you can accept your shortcomings as well as the other shortcomings and other person's shortcomings, and not explain your way to make it right. And I'm saying that because with me, it's always been me trying to explain myself out to make the other person, so I can understand why the other person did the way that they did, when I can't understand another person, especially if they don't want to be understood. So I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, that's how that person reacted. Why do I give a monkey's hiney? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? And it always comes out that I'm trying to fix a situation. I'm trying to fix this person, when you can't fix people. You can't. People don't fix people. People fix themselves. Well, I'm trying to see if that makes sense. People don't fix people. Well, yeah, people do fix people, but people fix themselves. I'm gonna put it that way, on that aspect. And sometimes people don't want to be fixed. Sometimes people want to stay where they're at, and they just want to use a person or another body to feel alive. There's a lot of people walking around. That's called the walking dead. That basically is just, using everybody else. You talk about these movies like the zombies and vampires. You have energy vampires. You have the zombies that's walking around, and these zombies are just people who just want to live in that way. They want to just be blind. They want to just be dumb. They just want to be deaf to the world. They don't care about anything but just, you hear them saying brains, running for the brains, and that's why they just walking around, to be, technical about it. They're not living. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they said you have to, and it may sound kind of kooky, but people who get it, that you got to shoot the head and then the zombie dies? Because the head can't live without the body. The brain can't live without the body. I'm not going to go any deep into that, but it does get deep. You have to think about that, period. Even when you do behead a person, they're still alive. It's just like a chicken. If you ever think about a chicken, when that head get cut off, the body's still going to walk around because there's still nerve endings and stuff. But after that, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. Have you ever seen anybody walking around here? You see missing limbs and the person lives, right? But you haven't seen somebody walking around without a head. I don't know where that came from, but I just really wanted to drop that so somebody can understand what I'm talking about. Anywho, I digress. I went off on that one. I just really wanted to tap into that because we're living in an age where it's, less of self-awareness and more about, social awareness, things that's going on. I mean, we're carrying... It's to the point where you're looking at celebrities who are fighting and arguing over matters that don't even concern us. Like, we're giving attention to watching celebrities in divorce court when they wouldn't give two cares about us. if we were getting repossessed, if we were getting treated unfairly, because everything is all about profit. You know, if you think about the whole dynamic with Katrina, and they're talking about these certain houses that they were building. Well, if you really look up on that, those houses that they built was crap. There were people that said they didn't like it because of how I'm not even gonna get into that, because I feel like as soon as I start tapping into that, that's when you have that big ear come in and they start to hone in on you. There's only so much that you can speak and say about before they start tapping in, but we have to be more aware of our surroundings instead of the social status. I mean, they feeding us all these types of just misguided information. It's one thing after the other, and once they figure out how to control out of fear, then that's when things happen. Anyway, I just got on here because I wanted to tap into that. People may say or look at me and say that something's wrong with you, you're weird. I'm like, no, I'm not weird, I'm just aware. Okay, I'm not weird, I'm just aware of what's going on. And I've been holding back so much the majority of my life, where I never said anything. And it's like a trigger warning for those who, again, are in this whole, and I take a deep breath because it's a lot that I'm going to tap into right now. And that's probably why I went to sleep, because I had to wake up to this. And it's just this pain that I feel right now. It's like a lot of people are so focused on sexuality. However, no one's fixing the whole dynamic of incest, molestation, rape, any form of sexual act without the consent is rape. And the thing about it is, there's some people out there who felt bad. Oh my goodness, because it's really getting deep here. Because, okay, so your body is made to enjoy sex, right? However, if it's introduced at an early age, you're confused because you don't understand what that is. And if it's with someone who you see as a figure who is to be higher standing, someone, either they're in the church, they're in the home, they're your teacher, your guardian, whatever it may be. And a guardian could be anyone that has to watch over you when your parents are not around. Anybody, a bus driver, a boss, a guardian, anyone who uses authority, okay, let's call it that, in order to gain power and control. When you're young, you don't understand that, and most people don't know that's something that you will carry for the rest of your life. Not saying that you can't heal and survive from it and be able to use that, but that's just something that you will always carry with you. You will always have that in the back of your mind. And there's some people who never get over it, never survive from it, and it's really sad. And you have people who have survived from it, but it dramatically changes you for the rest of your life. Okay. And I just really have to say this, because most people, even when it comes to the homosexual community, the LGBTQ community, the majority of the time, it's like, for me at least, I see it like, okay, you can look at me for what I choose to do, but there's so much more to me than that. And I choose to heal from it, not to allow that to be used as ammunition to hurt or harm people, but as fuel for me to know that I survived over this and that I'm bigger than that. It can trigger And it can piss you off because you're like, you know what? You're telling me what I need to do, how I need to change, and that you're looking out for me. But where were you when that happened? And I know that there are people who have said something and nobody said anything, but they'll say something about you if you dress a certain way, if you cuss, if you do something that they can actually control or that they can actually have some type of say or understanding in. However, if it's something that they can't handle or control, that's when that person will, and once again, I have to say they'll go, cause they're scared. Okay, fear is always going to be the first emotion that you feel. So if you don't understand what fear is, okay, and then that's the one thing you need to know, is to understand what fear is, so that when it happens, you know what it is and you won't be afraid of it, because it's the first emotion that you have, which helps you to pinpoint some things in your life. Okay, so once you know that, okay, right now I'm fearful, why am I fearful, all this other stuff, and I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's always going to be a why. Okay, and how I handle things is I'm learning, and I've said learning, not learned, but I'm learning because I'm still always open, willing, and ready to learn. But I am learning that why is your best friend, because where you have the why, you have the how. When you have the how, you have the when. And sometimes you may just end with just a why, and sometimes a why is just good enough, and you may not always get the answer, but you'll have an understanding of the why. Okay, I just had to say that to someone. Anywho, so I have to say this again, is that we'll teach our children, okay, or children, we have been taught as children, look both ways before we cross the street, what your special area is. But when it comes to actually speaking out, and I understand that there has to be a lot of people out there, because it wouldn't be so many people that are trying to heal because they went to speak to their parents or their guardians about the improperment that went on in the home, and nothing was done about it. Because if there was, there wouldn't be such a huge dynamic of these people that are hurt and are trying to heal. And it's sad because before then, I mean, it wasn't even anything that to talk about. And this has been happening for years down the line. And it's just to the point now where the universe, where God, where Gaia, whatever it is that you believe in, is saying enough is enough. People have been getting away with stuff for too freaking long, and they're going to start making you look like idiots. Like, they're going to really start pinpointing on you and putting the magnifying glass on you. And it's just this, the whole Johnny Depp thing, and it's just a circus. You know, I'm just using that to say that there's going to be some things that's going to come out. And that's why I said the world, I am ready to get up off this planet. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go back to where I came from. And yeah, baby, I got the baby here, and you know what he does, try to get attention because he's just the baby. Anywho, the world the world is a ghetto. Okay, we was already told that before. Okay, way back in time. For my people, I might be telling my age right now, but I heard that song, "The World is a Ghetto." So, anywho, excuse me for coughing, but you know me, I recorded. This is the raw and the real. This is mindful meditations, and it's all about, you know, understanding and getting together and noticing things. And sometimes we think we're doing the right thing, but we're not. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we think that we are really trying to help someone out, but I'm telling you, the main reason why most people ask questions is because they scared. They fearful. They don't understand. But my thing is, if you are asking a question and you're trying to get information and you're being inquisitive, that's one thing. But if you're trying to be nosy or funny, that's another thing. And especially if you are a person who is a healer, who works with a special gift, who is spiritually gifted, and you're trying to come to that person with this whole little funny business. And I'm talking about people who probably been working in this and they never said anything. And with the new moon coming, which is Friday, it's 12 o'clock. So we got the new moon now, which I'm going to get my manifestations and everything set and going, and get those intentions set out there. But the world is moving into a whole different dynamic. And it's not going to be business as usual anymore. It's not going to be the same old. It's not going to be the regular degular. It might be the solo dolo, but it ain't the regular degular. It's going to be a lot of people and friendships that are going to be put to the test. A lot of relationships that have been going on for years that are going to be brought out in the open. And I just got to say, be careful, be mindful what you say, who you be around, what you do, because there's people that's waking up, and you might just get what you really, looking for. You might just be sought out. You might just, the worst case scenario in the back of your mind, it might just happen, and I don't even know what that is. And it kind of hurt to say that, but it's people now that you disregarded and you shut them off on the side, and now they're going to be out of your life, and things are going to happen to where you're going to say, damn, where's that one person? It's those silent workers. It's the ones in the background that you what they say, that you just wipe off, that you just put to the side, and you say, oh, that person's just nobody. But it's going to be put to the test where you're going to be in a situation where you're going to be surrounded, and you're going to need that person. You're going to need that healer. You're going to need that light worker. You're going to need someone that can actually talk and open up. And I mean talk and open up to the point where there's no judgment. And that's a hard thing to do, that have a conversation with someone that has no judgment. The majority of the time, they may not even have any type of emotion or anything, because they're actually trying to listen. And being a healer, you actually trying to listen, see what that person got to say, and and the healer's trying to do their job. And it's not that they're emotionless; they got a job to do. They're a light worker, they're a healer, they're empath. They're trying to do what it is that needs to be done. But you're so used to being pacified your whole life. You're used to somebody just saying, "Oh, okay, oh." Nah. The world is moving in such a rapid pace right now that if you ain't ready, you just gonna be left in the dust, And it's sad to say, but the people that you least likely expected to survive, those are going to be the ones that you need to really have in your corner. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just looking to see how much longer I got here. Not that much. I don't have that much more to go. And I gotta hurry up and get my baby out, because he's nibbling on my arm, which means he's ready to play and ready to go to bed too, because I didn't know it was 12 o'clock. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to get myself ready for my manifestations, get myself ready for my intuitions. I got that too. Get myself together here, and just to make sure that I get everything set out and taken care of. Again, I do want to thank all those light workers, all those star childs, all those children, all those beautiful people who have been supporting me. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I can't stress that more than I want to, because it's within the comment, the liking, and subscribing is how things get put out there. but I know that the universe has a plan for me. And let me just break this down, because I'm so tired of people coming at me left and right. When I speak universe, I speak as the universe. Okay, if it does not fit for you, then it does not fit for you, and that's fine. But what I will tell you is that I believe that there is a God, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and that's where I want to leave it, and that's where I want to keep it. So whenever I say that, just know I do believe that there is a Jesus Christ. I do believe he died on the cross. I do believe he rose, and all that. So everything else after that is your own understanding, and you can keep it, because I ain't trying to hear it. All right? So we got that out the way. I'm going to continue living my life the way that it was designed for me to live, and that is in peace and in joy. I do not need any more hecklers. If you have questions or anything like that, that's what the comment section is for. If you want to understand, that's what the comment section is for. You can say whatever it is that you want to say, baby, because it's a free country. Because at the end of the day, like I told you before, you have a choice to react or to respond. And I can tell people who are weak and people who are strong just by your comments. And on the top of that, you don't control me. I'm the master of my own destiny, okay? And so whatever it is that you want to say is fine. I can tell you this: once you are an enlightened being, once you begin this soul journey, once you begin this spiritual journey, once you begin to get in tune with yourself, once you begin to let go of ego, once you begin to let go of other people's thinking and society, and you start to see exactly what it is and accept yourself and know who you are, everything else after that is bull. And you could care less about anybody else got to think. Seriously, have you ever met somebody who, and I'm not talking about somebody who just don't care, who just, unbothered. Because I believe that some people who, there's no such thing as a person being unbothered. It's just a person who's holding stuff inside, because eventually that's going to come off. It's going to come off at the wrong person, because everything gets on everybody's nerve. I mean, I'm not saying just because you are a spiritual being and you are on a spiritual journey that you're not going to be bothered. You're going to be bothered. Okay, you're going to be put to the test. So I would never say I'm never unbothered. I just don't let it bother me. Okay, I'm always going to be bothered. I just don't let it bother me. What don't mind don't matter. What's known don't need to be explained. You know what I'm saying? And misinformation is just a misinformed. People who don't understand. It's just it's just misinformation. And I know what not to waste my time for. Like I said in the beginning, that some people already have their understanding in their mind, and you can just tell by the conversation. And from then on, you know just exactly what it is that you need to say and move on. No need to waste no more of my time, and I ain't gonna waste no more of yours. Anyway, there he go. He getting hold on a second. All right, so I'm back. I'm sorry about that. They was going a little crazy though. So again, you know how you can hit me up. Now I'm on Instagram. I don't really use it that much, but you can hit me up on Instagram as the queer_Cancerian or Starseed. You can also hit me up on TikTok as the queer dot Cancerian or the queer_Cancerian or whatever. I know it's the queer Cancerian. And of course on YouTube, I am the queer.Cancerian. So you can hit me up on all that. Remember, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit me up. I'm also on Audacity and every live stream podcast platform. So until then, you know what I do. I what? I who. Ha ha. I holla.